Okay, so let's take a look at how to do some questions from the sequences chapter. Now, these are medium level questions and taken from paper 4. So the first question is the end term of a sequence is 8n minus 3. So we've got 8n minus 3. And we have to write down the first two terms of the sequence. Fairly straightforward. All you need to do is to plug in n is equal to 1 into this equation. So that's 8 minus 3, which is 5. And n is equal to 2, which is 8 times 2 minus 3, which is 16 minus 3, which is 13. So the first two terms are 5 and 13. The second question is, show that the number 203 is not in the sequence. So we have to prove that when you have 8n minus 3, none of the n terms actually give you 203. So 8 and minus equate both of these. You have to show that 8 and minus 3 will not give you 203. And n value will not give you 203. So let's take a look at that. So let's solve for n. So 8n is equal to 203 plus 3. 8n is equal to 206. N is equal to 206 over 8, which gives you 25.75. You can check that on your calculator. So therefore, this number is not in the sequence. And why is that? Because n must be an integer. So let's take a look at the nth term of these sequences. Find the nth term of these sequences. We have 13, 19, 25, 31, and so on. Let's take a look at the common differences. So we know that 13 and 19 have a common difference of, what is the common difference? Of 6. 19 and 25 has a common difference of 6. 25 and 31 has a common difference of 6. So the common difference is equal to 6. Right. So with a common difference of 6, we can put this into the formula that we have learned beforehand, which is a plus n minus 1 into d, where a is the first term and d is the common difference. You end up getting a plus n minus 1 times d. We have 13, which is the first term, times n minus 1 into the common difference. When we expand the brackets, we get 13 plus 6n minus 6. We clean this up, we end up getting 6n plus 7. So we know that the nth term of these sequences is 6n plus 7. So that would be the answer. Moving swiftly on. Let's take a look at this one. 4, 8, 14, 22, and so on. So over here, we see that the first two terms have a common difference, or in this case, a difference of 4. The 8 and 14 has a difference of 6. 14 and 22 has a difference of 8. So we see that the difference is increasing. So difference increases. And what do we do in this case? We look at the difference in the common differences or the differences that we got right now. So difference between 4 and 6 is 2. 6 and 8 is 2. And what do we do in this case? Since they have the same difference, we take half of that. So we get 1n square. It's going to be of the form 1n square. Now what do we do? Next, we write 4, 8, 14, and 22. Let's look at the n squares. 1n square, 1 into 1 square is 1. 2 square is 4. 3 square is 9, and so on. And then we minus it. When we subtract the squares from the initial set of numbers, what do we get? we get 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now we have an arithmetic sequence, so they have a common difference of 1. So we can do a plus n minus 1 times d. So over here we have 3 plus n minus 1 times 1. In this case, that's just 3 plus n minus 1. That's just n plus 2. Add this on to the value that you got here. So this is going to be 1n square plus n plus 2, or simply n square plus n plus 2. Let's move on. The second term of the sequence given here is 20, and the third term is 50. The rule for finding the next term in the sequence is to subtract y, then multiply by 5. So two instructions have been given to us here. Find the value of y and work out the first term of this sequence. So we know that over here we have 20 and we have 50. So let the first term be a. So let the first term be a. So if the first term is a, how do we get to the second one? They say to find the next term, we have to subtract y. So a minus y, and then you have to multiply this by 5. And we end up getting 20. Right? Likewise, if you want to get 50, you're going to take the first term, which is 20, minus y, multiply by 5 to get 50. So over here, I see that there are two unknown variables, so that's not much help for us, is it right now? So, but over here, I have one variable, so I can work with this right now. So I'm going to multiply 5 times 20 is 100. Negative y times 5 is negative 5y is equal to 50. Let me clean this up. So I have negative 5y is equal to 50 minus 100. Negative 5y is equal to negative 50. Y is equal to negative 50 over negative 5, which is just 10. So we know that the value of y is equal to 10. Now with this information, we will be able to find a. So let's substitute a minus y over 5 is equal to 20. So we have a minus 10 times 5 is equal to 20. 5a minus 50 is equal to 20. 5a is equal to 20 plus 50. A is equal to 70 by 5, which is 14. So we have y is equal to 10 and a is equal to 14. I hope this makes sense, guys. All right, so now let's take a look at another question where we have to complete the table for 4 sequences, and it's worth 10 marks. Let's take a look at the first one. So here the sequence is 2, 5, 8, 11. So the difference between 2 and 5 is 3. 5 and 8 is also 3. 8 and 11 is also 3. So the next term is simply going to be 11 plus 3, which is 14. And what's the nth term going to be? Remember that we have a common difference of 3. So we'll be able to use this formula. So a is going to be 2. So that's 2 plus n minus 1 times 3. That's 2 plus 3n minus 3, which is going to be 3n minus 1. Let's move on to the second one. We have 20, 14, 8, and 2. Let's see, 20 and 14 have a difference of 6, so that's negative 6. 14 minus 6 is going to give you 8. 8 minus 6 is going to give you 2. So 2 minus 6 is going to give you negative 4. And what's the nth term going to be? Remember that we have a common difference. Therefore, we can use the formula once more. So we are going to have 20 plus n minus 1 times negative 6. That's 20 minus 6n plus 6. That's 26 minus 6. Moving on, we have 1, 4, 9, 16. Take one good look and you will know that this is nothing but square numbers. So over here you have 1 square, this is 2 square, 3 square, 4 square. So the next one is naturally going to be 5 square or 25. And the n term is going to be n square. Let's take a look at the next one. We have 0, 2, 6, 12. So they have a difference of 2. 2 and 6 has a difference of 4. 6 and 12 has a difference of 6. So we see that the difference actually increases. But what about the difference between these numbers? That is constant at 2. Right? So what do we do in such a case? Since it is 2, we take half of that. So the formula is going to be 1n squared. What's the next step that we're going to do? We have 0, 2, 6, and 12. Let's subtract the squares numbers from these numbers. So we have 1 square is just 1, 2 square is 4, 3 square is 9, 4 square is 16. And what's the value we get? We have -1, we have -2, we have -3, we have -4, and so on, which is nothing but negative n. So the value is going to be -n square minus n, which can be written as n square minus n. Of course, not to forget, the next term is going to be 12 minus 8, which is going, 12 plus 8, which is going to be 20. Moving on. The sum of the first n terms of a sequence is given here. It is n times 3n plus 1 over 2. When the sum of the first n terms is 155, show that 3n square plus n minus 310 is equal to 0. So when the sum of the first n terms, and we know that the sum of the first n terms is given by this formula over here. So we have n, 3n plus 1 over 2 will be equal to 155. Now the next step that we do is to bring 2 on top here. We will get n times 3n plus 1 is equal to 155 times 2. Let's expand the brackets. We get 3n square plus n is equal to 310. Now we need to show this in this format. And how are we going to get a negative 310? Just bring this to the left side. So we will get 3n square plus n minus 310 is equal to 0. And there you have your answer. Let's take a look at the next question. Solve 3n square plus n minus 310 is equal to 0. I don't have space here, so I'm going to move this answer here. So we have 3n square plus n minus 310 is equal to 0. The best way to do is to factorize. Remember your quadratics lesson. So 3n square can be got by 3n and n over here. So you multiply 3n into n to get 3n square. And we have to look at negative 310. Now, what are the possible values that can get us 310? We can have 31 and negative 10, or we can have negative 31 and 10. Let me try it with this first. Let me try 3n plus 31 and n minus 10. Let's start multiplying, and we will get 3n square minus 30n plus 31n minus 310, eventually giving me 3n square plus n minus 310. So I have received my answer, and I know that this is going to be 3n plus 31 times n minus 10. So either 3n plus 31 is equal to 0 or n minus 10 is equal to 0. 3n is going to be negative 31. So n is going to be negative 31 over 3. Or n is equal to 10. So you have two answers here.